Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Good morning, Random. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning to the rest of you that are watching this morning and also that are catching me a little bit later, whether it be on YouTube or on PastorStitch.com or on Facebook, because they're on all of those places. Quick reminder, don't forget, go to YouTube, subscribe, hit that little bell icon. That will help you get notified when I do go live. The more you interact with those notifications, the way I understand it, the better the notifications come through, but they're not perfect, I know that. I've been told if you go through and you see, like right after I get done with this, I'm going to go and I'm going to create the next week's worth of schedule. And so I'm going to schedule all the broadcasts. And so if you click on each one of those and tell it you want to be notified when it comes live, it's much better at notifying you that I am live. I am not the same time every day. There are days where I get to sleep in, and I cherish those days. But I always start my day the same way, whether I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or I get up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I've slept past 10 in a long time. But I always start my day the same way. It shouldn't be a surprise to you. I start by picking this thing up, asking God to show me who He is, who I am, and who I've been. Help me to be the man He needs me to be. And I spend time reading it. The last several years, I've been reading through the Bible every year. I've done it many times, read all the way through the Bible multiple times, and I enjoy the process. I try to change it up a little bit. I have a chronological Bible that every year or two I will pull out and read through the Bible in the order that it was actually happened. It's a very powerful way to read Scripture. I also, this year, I'm reading a little bit in the Old Testament, a little bit in the book of Psalms, and a little bit in the New Testament every day. Another great way to engage the Bible. But what I'm telling you is you need to be engaged in the Bible. Then I have a couple of different devotionals that I go through every day. One I share with my wife. We do this using the YouVersion app, and we pick a devotional and we both read it every day. And that's helpful to keep us aligned spiritually. I also read a men's daily devotional. But the last thing I do before I come to you is I sit down, I open up the book of Proverbs, and I read the chapter that corresponds with the date. Today is January 7th, 2024, and I am going to read and share with you out of Proverbs chapter 7. Yes, I read it this morning. Actually, interestingly enough, I opened it up, and for whatever reason, I read Proverbs 8 today, knowing that it was the 7th. But read Proverbs 8. Got ready to come here with you guys and realized, I had read Proverbs 8. And I had something I was going to share, and then I realized, okay, God, thank you. Because He took me there for me. You might get to hear it tomorrow. But He needed to work it out in me first. And it may not ever be for you. That happens often, where He shares something just for me. But then I went back and I did read Proverbs 7 because I want to make sure that I am following through. Even though I know God spoke to me this morning in the book of Proverbs, and it was great. I went back and I read Proverbs 7, and there was something that jumped at me there as well. And it correlates to what I shared yesterday. So if you didn't see that, you need to go back. It's on YouTube. Go back and take a look at it. My share from yesterday And we will look at Proverbs chapter 7 today. Proverbs chapter 7. My son, obey my words and treasure my commands. Keep my commands and live. Protect my teachings as the pupil of your eye. Tie them to your finger, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister. Call to understanding, you are your relative. She will keep you from forbidden woman, a stranger with flattering talk. At the window of my house I looked through the lattice. I saw among the inexperienced. I noticed among the youths a young man lacking sense. Crossing the street near her corner, he strolled down the road near her house. At twilight, in the evening, in the dark of the night, a woman came and met him, dressed like a prostitute, having a hidden agenda. Yesterday I talked about the fact that it's so easy to fall into that place of getting stuck, planning your own deceptions, planning your relapse, and the fact that you actually relapsed long before you actually took the deed. Today, we saw a young man who would say, I didn't plan any of this, it just happened. And yet, because of his inexperience and his lack of sense, and the fact that he didn't listen to what was already said about don't go down that way, he found himself in a very dangerous position, hearing a very dangerous message that caused him to land in a very dangerous place. In verse 21 it says, she seduced him with her persistent pleading. He kept going close, and finally he couldn't take it anymore. She lured with her flattering talk. He ended up following her impulsively like an ox going to slaughter, like a deer bounding towards a trap, until the arrow pierced his liver, like a bird darting in a snare. He doesn't know it will cost him his life. Ignoring what we've been warned about is the same as planning relapse. It's a powerful thing to think about today, isn't it? We've all been told, we've all been warned. Let's remember today. She cries out. Wisdom cries out. You will always hear her. But if we ignore it, we drown her out, we will die in the sin that we chased. Even though we can have the plausible deniability of saying, I didn't know. Even though we know we did. Don't get hung up in it today. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.